I am demanding Sanofi to decrease the cost of insulin. It is a medication that all type 1 diabetics need to survive. I got a call from my son, and he was like, "Mom, Tay's not moving. Her eyes rolled behind her head." And I'm like, "No?" I'm like, wake her up. He's like, "Mom, she's not moving." They finally brought my baby out of that black bag, and I said, "No, she's not gone." 22 years old, a whole life ahead of her, because she couldn't afford insulin.
I should not have to cross a border to buy my insulin.
I should not have to buy my insulin in the parking lot off a stranger as if it were a drug deal.
None of us should fear death from a perfectly manageable disease, but we do, because American drug makers can arbitrarily raise prices to line their pockets, and Congress hasn't done anything to stop them.
Insulin's been around for 100 years and hasn't really changed in the last 20.
So you'd expect insulin prices to go down, not up.
Instead, just by slightly tweaking formulas or packaging, Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk, and Sanofi can extend patents, increase prices, and prevent affordable generics.
It's 5 a.m. in Los Angeles on a January morning, the month millions of Americans like Robin Cressman dread, because their insurance deductible resets to zero. And for a type 1 diabetic looking for life-saving insulin, it is the most expensive time of the year. But this morning, Robin is headed to the Mexican border, where we meet a group that saw her post on Instagram about insulin in Tijuana costing a fraction of what it does in the U.S. They've decided it's worth the risk to go to one of Mexico's most dangerous cities, as insulin prices in the U.S. have more than doubled in recent years.
When a drug has been on the market for enough time, its patent expires, ending its reign of market exclusivity and opening the door to generic competition. This should drive the prices down.
The price of prescription drugs, it's way out of whack, it's way too high.
We're back now with the cost of prescription drugs, which keep rising.
Huge price hikes.
And insulin, the life-saving drug for many diabetics, is no exception.
It's our oxygen, it's our water, it's as essential as those things. This is what costs me a fortune.
That's forcing some people to ration their doses and find alternative ways to get it.
The average price for one vial of insulin is about $285. Most diabetics need 2 to 4 vials per month. But here's the thing, insulin prices weren't always this high.
The all-essential insulin.
Access to insulin means life or death for millions of type 1 diabetics like myself. But since 2002, the price of insulin has more than tripled.
Tavia was diagnosed at the age of 16 and only lived 6 years with this disease due to the high cost of insulin.
Her 18-year-old daughter, Antonique, is diabetic too and will soon face the same struggles as her older sister.
I fear the same is going to happen to her in 2 years.
Today, this mother addressed the nation, talking about both daughters and calling on Congress to act.
I'm crying out and asking Congress to review the pharmaceutical drug price gouging.
Well, now Sanofi says it will sell monthly supplies of insulin for a fixed price of $99 for some patients. That move, the latest from a drug maker to try and cool the intensifying anger over high prescription drug prices.
What you know is that when people need your product, the way people with type 1 diabetes need this product, you have enormous pricing power. To manufacture a vial of insulin is about $5. It's being sold for $250 list price. So essentially you have these huge markups, huge profits, and essentially people who cannot say no to that. That's really wrong, and that has to change.
If we want to change the rules of the game, somebody's going to have to stand up and say, we really care about this.